Welcome back to During Business Hours. It's been an interesting day. I'm not supposed to be at work today. Let me tell you why.
Buenvenidos.
Do you even remember how to say it?
I forgot.
Have you seen the What If episodes
I watched the first one and I watched it.
this season?
Yeah, the second season.
So, my family is Native American. I am not. Sorry, Mom. White man got the goods. But so, Native American culture I grew up with. And so lots of my Grandma Belle's side, my stepdad's entire family that I grew up with, he was my dad. Everyone celebrated like their Cherokee, Blackfoot, Chippewa mix. And so something that I took a lot of pride in yesterday came out. What if Kahori reshaped the world?
Mm-hmm.
So there's this episode.
I think I remember seeing like a TikTok saying that they had made a new superhero to introduce in the What If series that's Native American.
It's crazy because they even collaborated with certain native tribes to get the speaking right, the depiction right, and so it's pretty cool. The synopsis on Google says the episode features voice talents Kia Wentio as Wata, Jeremy White as Atrax, and Gabriel Romo as Conquistador Rodrigo Alfonso Gonzalo. Benedict Cumberbatch as Doctor Strange. He was in for like 3 seconds, get fucking titles. Carolina Rivasa as Queen Isabella, among others. Synapse breakdown. Review of What If. I am a big fucking fan of the What If series. I love it. The Doctor Strange that's kind of in the background with the Watcher is insane. He just rules the world. And that man's just like, take me. It's like Ryan Reynolds, but it's just like he's godly. He looks wretched, by the way, but he can just boom, whatever he wants. Like, come on.
Right.
It's not about just money, it's power. That's everything.
I only watched the first episode.
Of the first season?
No, of the second season.
Oh, okay.
And I watched it on the MetaQuest.
How did you get a MetaQuest?
Because this man right here freaking got it for me for Christmas.
It's
fucking ridiculous.
It's just a headset.
It's not just a headset. I was like, oh my God.
You almost teared up. That was so emotional.
Yeah, I did. I was like almost broke down crying. I was like, oh my God, this is too much.
So I would say you were a friend. I like you. I appreciate you.
And I love you.
Yeah, there's an ongoing joke here. But it's one of those things where, like, you had mentioned you're traveling a bunch. You don't have, like, a gaming PC,
Yeah.
It's something that's compact. And I was like, what do I get him? A bottle of whiskey? No, he's going to get his shit slapped by his mom. So, light bulb, MetaQuest 3 is like $649. Even wholesale, they're like $600. It's like, no. Not that yet. Also, bad month in gambling. So I was like, well, Leslie, what do I get him? He's going to be going to and from, traveling a bunch. And then she was like, isn't that mobile, the headset you used to take when you would go to and from Monterey, Texas? And I was like, yeah, I would fucking use that thing and do voice chats or video chats with the kids and all kinds of stuff. It worked really well. So I was like, well, boom, there you go. Fucking MetaQuest 2. Nice.
Right.
It was a perfect gift, especially thinking about it. If you go over to Afghanistan, there you go. There's your free time. And you'll still be able to hear shit. You can plug in. We can do 3D printed attachments for extra space.
Yeah.
Which I have to do my wrist straps on the 3D print. But I'm glad you like it.
Dude, it's freaking amazing. Now that you say it, is there like a way, if I'm over there, to do a VR podcast thing?
Yeah, we could stream it and everything. Yeah, because it's got cameras around, and so you'd use your avatar. We'd get on a Zoom with your avatar, and then you're speaking through your avatar.
Yeah.
It's much easier. But have you gotten confirmation on that at all?
Not yet. Tuesday I got my fingerprint card sent to me. And Wednesday I went to the sheriff's office and got my fingerprints done. Yeah. So I'm waiting on them to get it and then let me know.
Back to our, that's great. Back to the What If episode. The Native Americans basically are having a happy life on a far-off planet, from no interaction of Asgard because apparently in the story of the 616 Marvel Universe, Thor was super young and Odin decided to give mortals the Space Stone to hide, and that's how the Nazis got it in like Captain America. But so because apparently Asgard gets destroyed in this what if, the Space Stone is cracked and leaking cosmic energy on a barreling course for Earth. And when it hits, it's back in the conquistador days and Native Americans. So there's a lake that this thing lands in, and it poisons the lake. It goes underground. Now it's this forbidden lake. Don't touch it. So all the Native Americans that go in there go to a different world, and they're seeping like cosmic radiation energy through this portal. Well, funny enough, they're like, this is Skyworld. Welcome to Skyworld, sister. We all live off land. We love land. Boom. You know, life is great. And then she's like, well, conquistadors killed and murdered my parents and took my brother. Let me go fight it. So she's apparently got like the willpower to take the Space Stone and do all this stuff. And then she basically runs the world and threatens the Queen of Spain and murders a bunch of people. Vengeance. No smallpox. But they did bring blankets to the Queen of Spain, which also left at the hint of like, we want peace with you. Take our blankets or we will murder you. What if those have smallpox? So I was like, oh, that's a soft but also chilling one. You got a pocket knife on you?
Yeah, I got that from the expo.
Really? Mm-hmm. I bought that big butcher knife one, and then the fucking tip fell off.
Seriously?
Like, yeah. I think it was because that was the Damascus blade one.
Oh, yeah.
And I think it's probably cheap China stuff. I was surprised. Where is...
You just fold it.
Just fold it?
Mm-hmm. Just classic pocket knife.
Which was super funny because all of a sudden I was like, that's a $60 knife. And then the tip just literally broke off from the first like shaving cut, which was funny.
No, but that's awesome. I need to watch the rest.
I think a new one came out today. I don't know. I'll tell you the title, but I haven't watched it. So that's what came out today. But I've been watching it like near midnight, so I get 2 episodes every time I watch. Mm-hmm. So I'm like watching yesterday's and today's, and then yesterday's and today's.
Nice.
So like every 2 days, I'll bundle it up.
It's really awesome that they're releasing it every day this week.
Dude, it's so amazing because last time we had to wait week by week by week, and it was so slow, and I think they didn't get a lot of people to watch it because of that. Mm-hmm. So I know we're not usually a review channel, but that's like the best series that Marvel has come out with. And then everyone's bitching about, what is it, Helen or what's her name? Amber Heard.
Yeah.
Of the century. If you didn't understand what that bleep was, see you next Tuesday. Of the century.
God, yeah.
She
was taking dumps on people's beds, and
she was verifiably the cause and anguish of a freaking American pastime. That dude was a treasure, and he was destroyed by that woman.
Yeah.
Like, and then she gets to make a movie and still get her like $50 million.
It's ridiculous.
After he settled with her for way less because he was going to lose or she was supposed to lose a role and all this stuff, and then she's still in the movie. I didn't get to see it yet because I'm still boycotting Amber Heard. Yeah. Because if I have to, I'll walk out during her scenes and then walk back in.
It's dumb. It's the fact that it's just basically hearsay, I guess. Yeah. For her saying it first and then nobody believing Johnny because he's like a man and everybody's on the woman's side first, and then it's, I don't know, it turns into this whole big thing. Dude, and it's ridiculous.
He said he had proof originally, and then nobody would interview him or talk to him about it, which was nuts to me. I couldn't believe that.
Yeah. I was watching it on TikTok for like a few hours, I guess, a day.
King of Cult. And Black Mass was the last 2015. I think that was the last thing he was really in was Black Mass, right?
I think so. No, I think it was in something else. It was like an indie type film where he was like a professor at a university.
John Duberry. Minimata. He on Hulu, 2020. Waited for the Barbarians. City of Lies, 2018. I didn't see that one. Crimes of Grindelwald, right? Mm-hmm. Was the one he did, and then he got replaced, didn't he?
Yeah, by
After
Mads Mikkelsen.
Yeah, Mikkelsen, and then that's not even on here because that movie was so horrible. I don't know how he changed, and then they like fast tracked it.
Yeah, it was so weird watching that stuff on TikTok whenever the trial was
going down, and the TikTok guy is like, "No, you're doing this for clout." Now he's got the millions of followers on TikTok.
Yeah,
by dunking on that lady.
Their legal team was just ridiculous.
It's what she could afford.
God.
So this is a story all about how my life got turned upside down. So why don't you take a minute and sit right there? How I told you how. So I tell you how I fucked up a $2,500 CNC system. There we go. Basically, I decided I'm going to take time off work today. I'm going to take time off work today, which is rare. No work, just play. I want to finish some of the honeydew things that I didn't get to do during the holiday break. I'm going to build my daughter's game table that has like the family established. Boom, here's the time. And I had to cut super far down because I had done the pour last week, a week and a half ago.
Mm-hmm.
And it was like sticky. And I was like, oh shit, too much hardener. The resin wouldn't cure. So funny enough, when resin doesn't cure like that, you have to scoop it out, clean it. I didn't want to do that, so I just took a big old flattening bit and spun it everywhere. All over tools. My fucking MacBook got covered in resin. It was barely got that clean without damage, but everything got covered in uncured resin. Ruined my clothes, so I got overalls. Yeah, they're worth it. Today, went back to working on it. The resin was deep. And I kept cutting and sanding. And I'm like, you know what? I'm just going to cut one more pass. We have this podcast to shoot. So this happened immediately before this. So rest in peace. My Makita 701-NC. I blew up the router because 1.5 bit, 1.48 horsepower router, 1/4 inch of drilling, not going to work. And so that thing went, got caught once, and I'm like, all right, let me come up a little bit, caught again. All of a sudden I see everything, the lights flickering, power outlet goes off, but the Dremel or the drill is still going, and that turns to smoke and then fire. Burned up literally the Makita router. How does a router go on fire, you may ask? I don't fucking know. But I didn't have an extinguisher.
Yeah.
What do I have? A nice cold Monster at 40 degrees outdoor. So that got poured on it, and my workpiece. Got to clean that up before coming up here. But yeah, Amazon charged me $248 for the router that I needed. So I've got to exchange the router, clean some stuff up, and then I'll finish my game table. And all this hard work that I've put into this, I've probably put like 8 hours into this game table so far. It's not worth it. Don't do carpentry. It's woodworking sucks at times where you just can't get things right, and that's where I'm at today. Failure.
But there's going to be a day when you're like, dude, I freaking made the coolest piece of...
That's every other day except for today. Everything I've done has been amazing.
So tomorrow, you're going to be like, dude, I made the sickest thing.
From now till then, I'll feel like death is the only escape. That's just... I feel horrible. You think I'm telling you, it was like, all right, I fixed the thing, and then it was good, and then I was like, oh, I'm having real trouble. Okay, sanding's not working. I wonder, let me try a different pat. Let me try this. Nothing worked. And I was like, you know what? Cutting corners. Here we go. That really just, I did that to me. Myself, I did this. My problem. And then my wife's like, hey, is everything all right? As I'm walking inside, shaking off my sawdust, my daughter comes up. I'm looking like... She goes, Daddy, you look sad. And I'm like...
Straight up just called you out.
It's none of your fucking business. Go back to playing with shit. Like, she's like, what's broken? I'm like, my thing, my toy is broken.
Dude, literally kids don't give a crap.
It seemed like she genuinely cared. She was like, but you can fix it.
I was going to say, like, pointing stuff out.
Yeah. It's just like, I'm never really sad in front of my daughter.
Mm-hmm.
You gotta be strong, you know. But because we had this whole week where her biological dad was staying with us. So he lived in my house with his girlfriend. He even babysat the kids for us. Totally different guy from everything. If I was to tell you a week ago exactly who he was, nothing this week looks like him. Mm-hmm. Sounds like him, acts like him. So his name is Doug. He was in a relationship with my wife 2016, 2017. I would say, 2016, 2015. They had a kid. That was my daughter, Khaleesi. And then he was physical with her, so she left. It was a battle because anyone who has dealt with child custody will understand the father gets fucked 99% of the time in most states. This is one of those situations where he put hands on a woman. The court's going to be like, yeah, you're a danger to your kid, to your wife or girlfriend. Go. Mm-hmm. So he had to go to counseling. He got locked up for not going and doing. And then it was a bunch of drama back and forth. When I got into the picture, I was like, hey, listen, I'd like you to be in the picture as like an established person, self-aware, handles his own shit. Good for her, good for me, good for you. Perfect. And then he was hesitant for years and was like, oh, yeah, I think you're all trying to fuck me. You're going to put me in jail. You're going to do something. And he's finally to the point now where he can come to my house, pop a squat, cook some food, hang out with the kids, watch my kid. He's safe enough. I trust he's going to do the right thing. Mm-hmm. My wife, on the other hand, is always skeptical because she's had that moment where it's like, you've burned me. Me, I'm like, I'll just kill him. We have the castle law here. You know, but I trust him as far as I can throw him. He's a pretty small guy, you know. It's fun times. But yeah, it was great. He watched them while we went to the casino and I lost. And he was there for Christmas, which was convenient because then there's way more gifts for the kids and then we don't have to do all the cleanup. I didn't have to cook on Christmas. I thought I was going to have to cook.
Nice.
He did breakfast. He makes musabis, which is like Spam, rice, seaweed. So good. He showed me how to make it with what's this Japanese barbecue sauce. Mm-hmm. Fat kid's dream. God. I'm telling you. I'll make it for you. It's good.
Hell yeah.
It's I even bought a press that should be here on the 3rd to make these like giant musabis.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, my God.
Like the little metal things, you just press it.
Yeah, so you can press the rice and the egg and the Spam all together, and then you wrap it in seaweed.
I see that all the time on TikTok, and I'm like, dude, this looks so delicious.
It's so good. It's ridiculously better with that Japanese barbecue sauce.
Mm-hmm.
I was surprised. But it was one hell of a week. How was your Christmas? What did you do? What did you get? Did you have fun?
It was pretty chill. I mean, my mom was down with my family in Fort Worth. My dad, came back home because he had work the next couple days. Or on Wednesday, he stayed home Tuesday, which unfortunately on Tuesday our dog of 13 years passed.
The day after Christmas?
Yeah. He was a good boy. He was 13 years old, and he started to kind of like
wane a bit.
Yeah, he was having trouble like eating and keeping things down, and we took him to the vet Tuesday, and we're like, oh, we're gonna like figure something, and they were like, yeah, unfortunately he has a mass that they found, and so they called my brother because he's the owner, and they were like, well, what do you want to? Yeah, and he was like, well, we don't want him to suffer. Yeah. So,
my condolences, man. That sucks. My parents have 3 dogs and its mother from 2011 that for some reason they're like systematically dying every year now. Mm-hmm. So the mother died 2018, one of the kids 2019, and then it's 2020, but they had like 5 of them. So now it's the last one alive is this dog named Johnny, who always bites me and shits in my shoes when I live there. Very fun dog. But that one's like on its last leg too. It's almost like everyone I know that's had a dog since 2010 to 2015, they're starting to get ill, Yeah. So you see a mass all over Facebook and TikTok. People like, R.I.P. to the best friend that I ever knew,
Yeah, it was pretty rough on my dad and my brother, but other than that, it wasn't bad. I did a little crock pot meal for my dad and I I did chicken bacon ranch sliders with on Hawaiian bread, and I got the Buffalo Wild Wings medium sauce. Poured it on there. Freaking nice and toasted buns.
It's got to be so good. Was it shredded?
Oh, yeah.
Dude,
yeah, dude. Shredded.
We do the buffalo sauce, the Frank's Red Hot Buffalo, and we do the shredded chicken with a little bit of cheese, mix that up, and put it on the buns and then toast it.
Yeah.
And those are amazing, those sliders.
I had so the recipe called for like 3 chicken breasts, but I had bought a pack and I had 4.
Yeah.
Put them in there.
I put in fine.
Cream cheese, the ranch powder. Let that go until it was ready, and then I put in shredded cheese and the bacon bits. So delicious.
I got a bunch of money from this Alexa voice command lawsuit. They sent me like $240.
Oh, seriously?
Yeah. So Alex here has sent me some lovely TikToks that we're going to react today to try and cheer me up. Let's get it going.
Oh, looks like you pushed.
Oh, no, it does both.
What?
It does both. I was here yesterday. It actually goes both ways.
Oh, okay.
Okay, see ya. See? Hope to hear from you soon.
What the fuck?
Have you not seen his show?
No, what show is that?
Tim Robinson, I Think You Should Leave. It's on Netflix. It's hilarious.
That's him getting a job or trying to get a job?
He that little, because it's all about unhinged little shorts, and that one was like he just got finished with an interview, and then it's always like that when you look dumb whenever it's like a push.
Yeah, I saw that.
Yeah, and he's just like, I don't want to look stupid in front of
my interview. I was here yesterday. And
yeah.
I was like, oh, okay, that was funny, but also kind of creepy.
All of his little shorts that he does on the show.
You gotta send me the name of the show so I can check it out.
Yeah.
I don't watch a lot of Netflix shows. I usually do like the anime reincarnation type stuff. Mm-hmm. Lots of isekais. But yeah.
No, definitely worth watching.
So this, just off the bat, I'm sure I'm gonna laugh because it says Hallmark movie goes wrong.
If they made Hallmark movies like this, I would probably watch them.
There's a lot of Hallmark movies. I bet you just haven't looked because
none like this
that air like to your parents are just the ones that are on the surface. There's some creepy Hallmark movies that are like nighttime movies.
I guarantee you, there's nothing like this.
Oh, that's a fuckboy.
Krista Santorini?
Chip Buckle?
Yeah, from Snowflake High. God, geez, how long has it been?
I think 5 years, but I mean, you look great.
God, yeah, the acne and the scoliosis cleared up.
Oh, stop it. No, I always thought you were cute.
God, you're too kind, but hey, I always thought you were cute too.
Thanks. So, what are you doing at my door?
Oh,
Is this the petition to save the ice rink on Candy Cane Lane?
No.
Because I'll totally sign it.
So would I. Kind of a good news, bad news situation here, Krista. Good news is I just moved into the apartment building across the street, and
And the bad news?
I'm a sex offender.
Krista, there is no easy way to say this, so I'm just going to come out and say it. I am legally obligated to report to you that I'm a registered sex offender.
I called it. I called it.
I need you to sign this.
So was it like a public urination thing, or?
Do you have to answer that?
All right, it's all updated.
No.
No. Is it working? Oh, God.
No.
Chip buckle. Jesus Christ.
So this is kind of like public urination thing? No.
That is... I love this guy's clips
Yeah, she
here.
looks at me and she's like, you better do something. And I was like,
Oh, Ginger Billy.
You know, for some reason,
Can
my dishwasher is making a really weird noise.
what? What kind of noise is it making?
You see? There it goes again.
This guy is great.
Căn nhà chân mây lá làm sao có giá được trăm cây vàng nè. Có mây lời bay lá, có manh thiếp bay ngày.
Dude, some of their music goes hard.
It's so hard.
Yeah.
Especially the Mandarin style stuff. If you haven't checked it out, just put in Mandarin Trap Remix.
Or go to your local China King buffet.
But you could do that. So Daddy Doug and Khaleesi went to the movies while he was here. Saw Wish, I think. And then they also went to China King buffet the day after Christmas. And I was like, yeah, it's like not the best Chinese food around. You know, we can go to Enid and have some better stuff. Because Enid is a bigger city, has more attractions. But he's only here for 5 days when, including Christmas, when next time he'll probably be out here for longer.
China King there are some days where it's good and there's some
It's
days.
great when it's a small town. Because it's the best you're going to get. Folgers. But you also don't have a Starbucks. So.
Yeah. We just got our Burger King back, man.
It's back.
Yeah, didn't I tell you?
They rebranded. There's less meth heads. But still a majority of meth heads.
Well, Burger King is no longer selling drugs.
Yeah, but the casinos are. Did you know that the casinos got caught for trafficking, money laundering, and drugs?
Like in Oklahoma?
All 4 of them. There was a ring that was caught because they would like put money into a machine to pay for their drugs. A cup would sit at that machine. Somebody would come in, cash the ticket, and then take it up to the teller. Boom, money laundering and drugs. Oh, so now they clean all the cigarette butts and cups up immediately, but they cannot touch the money on the floor because fentanyl. And now all of them have fentanyl machines that you can get free fentanyl. What is it?
The Narcan?
Narcan. Free Narcan at every one of your casinos. And some of them are in trailers.
Oh, that's quality service right there.
That's great.
Hey, boss. I want to let you know I'm going to be off on Monday.
I never heard of Chinchilli Day.
Sure you have. It's called the Revolucion de Chinchilla. It was when the pet chinchillas of a tiny Pueblo town rose up against the people. For 3 bloody days, the fighting continued. My people were able to hold back the chinchillas. Till finally, the last was gone. Every year, my people celebrate the victory over the revolt.
And how do you celebrate?
3 days in Vegas. It's a cultural obligation.
Happy Chinchilli Day.
You too, boss.
The excuses are getting ridiculous.
I've had people give me the excuse that they've shit themselves. Before that was like a trend. I got to go home, I've shit myself. And then I've gotten the excuse that my mother died. And then 3 months later, well, my mother died. And then the same 3 months later, my mother died. Same person. Well, you can't tell me my mother can't die. And he's right. You can say your mother died as many times as you want. I cannot tell you no. That's the best one that I've gotten. Because he's right. I can't say how many mothers he's got, how much information he's got, but he can use that excuse as many times, which is just insanity to me.
Yeah.
Could you imagine somebody comes in every week and they're like, yeah, my mother's dead, but only on Fridays.
We do some hardcore resuscitation right there.
Yeah.
Dude, I'll tell you what, though. This brings me back to a story. A little story time. Secret time. because brought up like you said excuses of like my mother died or whatever. So I had
it's a gem.
So I was working at a local EMS service. Here.
Woodward EMS. Nobody's afraid to say it.
Yeah,
they owe me money.
I was working at Woodward County EMS.
Yeah.
And I was also teaching at the High Plains because I would help teach a class for the EMT, Advanced EMT. And
do they still have that class?
They do it through the EMS base now. But yeah, a little additional backstory to this is I'd been working at Woodward County EMS at this point for like 5-6 years, nonstop. And gotten like my EMT license, my advanced EMT license.
And you're making a decent living.
I mean, it wasn't bad, but like my loyalty to this company was pretty consistent.
Pretty consistent, yeah.
No, it was consistent, not pretty. It was consistent.
You were planning on retiring from Woodward EMS.
I had plans of like, well, I'm going to keep this for a long time because, I mean, they'd helped me so much. I was like, well, you know, I'm going to be loyal and, you know, help them out too. And this was also when I'd gotten a full-time position. Turns out that I have to work a year before I get any, like, benefits of time off, holidays.
So you'd already been there, what, 4 or 5 years?
Yeah.
So you still didn't get...
I had to work a full year as a full-time employee.
Oh, so you were there part-time sometimes, full-time sometimes.
Yeah, now that I got my paramedic, I was full-time.
Oh, so they gamed the system against you to not give you your vacation pay.
And the other thing is, I had told my boss, Pebbles, is head. I was like, hey, you know, I just got finished with this paramedic class. And I'm like, I want to take a break, you know, because I've been going nonstop.
Vacation, well earned, deserved.
And they were like, yeah, you know, 100%. And then, you know,
they checked the paperwork and they're like, but it turns out you've not officially been an employee for a full year at full time.
It wasn't even that. It was Pebbles was cool with it. She's the freaking best.
Was it Chad?
Yeah,
it was Chad.
It was like you have to...
This could be any Chad, but if you know Chad, you know Chad.
It was like you have to work... It was like you have to work 48 hours a week. And I was like, understandable of like, you know, you can get time off, but, you know, you're not going to get paid time off or any holidays or anything.
So give me my week and I'll get no paid time off, take my vacation.
Yeah, and at that point it was like, well, you know, I still need freaking money, so I'm not going to...
You just didn't take your vacation.
I just didn't take my vacation.
But that's what they count on. Because I've played that system and I've made sure that employees don't get a vacation. I'm right there using the same system. If they didn't want the system, they'd change it. Just like Trump said. If you don't like it, change it. I'd stop using it.
And now getting to the part of the, you know, the real issue. So in all this time, I had never asked for like a day off. I may have been like sick, so I couldn't have come in.
Died, you know.
Except by, you know, this was, so it was the first time that I had like an actual issue come in. Yeah. And other people that I know that work there would be like, yeah, you know, my mom's sick, my mom, you know, I need to leave. And you know, they'd be fine with it or whatever. And I had made some remarks about, you know, a coworker that I'm not too fond of because they aren't really like the best at their job.
A real Chad.
Yeah. Well, it wasn't him. It was somebody else. And then all of a sudden, like in Fort Worth, my grandma had fallen. She's gotten like issues with like
mobility, health.
Yeah, and like head bleeds or brain bleeds. So she was going to go into surgery, and she was going to get the blood drained. And I had like mentioned it. I was like, hey, you know,
gotta take some time here.
Yeah, it's like I want to go and see my grandma, you know, because she's sick. She's going to go into surgery. We don't know what it's going to be like. And they're like, all right, sure. I'm like, what do you mean? And I'm like, okay, like, but you're gonna work Saturday. And I'm like, well, you know, I kind of like have this issue. And they're like, yeah, we don't believe you. Basically, without saying it.
How'd they ask? Where they were like, hey, can you have grandma call us?
I mean, I probably should have. Honestly, because then they would have believed me. And
Knock
I
on
mean,
wood if Grandma's alive.
She is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank God he was there to help.
And I told my coworkers, and they were like, "It's like, yeah, like, did you tell them?" I was like, "Yeah, but they're acting like they don't believe me."
Oh my gosh.
So I ended up staying and working
through it.
Yeah. And
this is when Chad was the manager or your supervisor?
He was like, he's still the supervisor. He was the paramedic supervisor, and then Pebbles is above him.
So what do you estimate Chad was making then versus what his cap is now?
I have no idea.
What were you making then?
$18.
So $18 for you, probably $24 for him, right?
Probably. I mean, he gets paid salary, I'm sure.
And that was what, 2018, 2019?
Like 18, 19? No, it was after, so like 2020.
2020. And so post-COVID, everything's kind of risen.
Mm-hmm.
We're going to assume up to $30 an hour now. And Chad's still there. How many people do you think have worked for like minimum wage there, not gotten any benefits, been screwed over to the board, and still don't get their vacation?
I'm sure freaking ton.
Just so Chad can get his $30 an hour.
It's ridiculous.
And 2 weeks paid vacation. Just so you know, 2 weeks paid vacation.
It wasn't until a coworker, a friend of mine, told him the story that I told him. They were like, "Oh man, like your grandma's in the hospital, like you didn't go visit." I'm like, "Yeah, I told you guys," and you
this
basically
is a lawsuit. You know that, right? Everyone who goes, yeah, but you're the reason why people get away with that stuff. Like, I wish I could play that, but that's like all kinds of violations. California, Oklahoma, it doesn't matter. Violations.
Right. I wish I would have known about like the recording thing, because then, man, I would have had it all the time if I was in, one-on-one.
Because back in the day, you would have to rely on people's truth under oath and how much they valued their morals versus like, because you don't have to say the truth under oath, because most humans understand that they are beings that can lie and be capable of lying.
Mm-hmm.
So it's weird now when people are like, well, you're going to be under oath and you'd perjure yourself. Like, I'd perjure myself in a heartbeat. I do not want to be a juror. No, do not put me on the stand. Absolutely. If I got to lie for my wife, my kids, no, he wasn't there, officer. He was under my wing the whole time. That is not our firearm officer. I do not know that woman. That is not my child. Whatever the questions are, it is no, I plead the fifth.
I did not have sexual relations with that woman.
But I rubbed against her every once in a while. Hillary said it was above the pants. It's okay.
But yeah, that was just ridiculous. And that was like when it started to become a thing where it's like, oh, so
consistent problems.
Yeah.
When did you officially quit?
I didn't officially quit. It more just like teetered out, and I didn't keep up with
licensing, etc.
No, with a part-time policy that Woodward has. If you don't work there for like 48 hours.
Much later.
All right, everybody. I am so sorry for the delay. It has been the craziest, I'm guessing, almost hour.
Yeah?
Yeah, I've been gone around almost an hour.
Has it been?
Yeah.
Dang.
Apparently, it's been almost an hour. It's been packed in the store. Had a guy that didn't want to pay to fix a phone and a tablet, then just kept asking questions about who, what, where, when, what would you do in your shoes. Almost sold him a Mac. It would have been a problem if I did. He lives out of town, doesn't have money. As you can hear right now in the background, there's another customer that's here with an Xbox and a few children that are in and out and in and out. Very lovely. Nice to have people in the store dealing with things, but
yeah,
it's just getting more and more interesting the later in the year it's getting.
I'm just your business charm.
This man needs to work here. That's the idea. You just need to come hang out here with a coffee. Stop paying what are you paying the barbershop?
$350.
$350. Pay me $300 and I'll get you a whole booth in the front. We'll build you a booth.
Man, I'd have to move all my couch and.
You got a couch?
Yeah.
What does it look like? Do you have a picture of what it looks like in there?
I don't, but I can send you one.
That'd be great. I'd love to see it.
Yeah, because
you've got gaming gear, audiophile gear. We got room in the back for a lot of storage. We got a huge ass safe. You can put a bunch of stuff, guns, whatever. And then you've got that entire nook in the front.
Yeah.
That you could turn into your couch, lounge, laissez-faire area. Saves me some bucks on rent. I'd be happy to have you.
Yeah. It's been described by some people as a dorm room. If that, so like you walk in, you see to your left, I got like a little casting couch kind of thing going on. Then I have like a chair, my little stand that I have all my like IV stuff that I can just pull out.
Yeah.
I have another chair on the other side.
So it's like this.
Yeah.
Like it's one of those rooms in a salon that's about this big.
No, it's probably
This big.
about maybe the size, a little bit bigger than this room.
It's bigger than this room.
Just a little bit, just like lengthwise. Because then I also got my desk, my TV, and then my shelves.
This woman has said she was going to leave 9 times. 9 times she said she was going to leave, and she's still here with her 6 children, using the bathroom every 45 seconds. And we don't have a public restroom. Yeah, very interesting.
6 children will do that.
6.
Too, yeah.
6. She started with 1. Number 12, she said that. No, it's been interesting. The first client didn't want, they had a 13 Pro Max, and that's what took up a bunch of time, was explaining to them 13 Pro Max, why we charge what we do. They're going to be here in the morning. I can fix that phone and resell it for more than what they'd spend on their repair today. I recommend fixing it. Fix your 13 Pro Max, even with an in-cell screen. Fix it, $250, boom. Anything else is going to be a problem. Then it was, all right, do some screen protectors. All right, doing the screen protectors, he's tearing down their Xbox. Took him a little while. Then it was crazy guy with the Mac questions, the iMac questions, wanted to buy a phone, didn't have the money. I'm like, dude, if you don't got the money, tell me right now. Don't waste my time. I'll give you the recommendation. You go finance what you want. I don't want to be the bad guy. But I'll tell you straight up, I don't want to sell you something if I know you're going to come back and try and get the money back, because I've been that guy. I understand. I want to borrow things too. I understand. I just borrow from Amazon. So it was an interesting one. We finally got a little piece of it. And apparently my wife gave her a quote for an Xbox One and not a 1S or 1X, because that's when, if you don't know your model, that's what's going to happen. But you were talking about a story, underpaid, everything.
Oh, yeah. Issues of
Your vacation. Yeah.
Yeah, time off because like it was family emergency.
They didn't accept it, didn't believe it, you didn't take it. Is this man not a saint? I would have thrown such a fucking hissy fit.
Yeah.
I probably wouldn't have gone to labor board, but I would have at least done something. And that's a contributing factor to why you left your job?
Yeah, that's one of them.
Yeah. So where'd you get the money to start your business? Was that just like your contracting?
Yeah. I came back from New York with
post 2020.
Yeah, it was 2021. 2020. No, it was 2022.
Stacking that cash.
Yeah, I came back with like 35 grand in my pocket. Yeah.
Dead people money.
No, government FEMA money.
Dead people money. Scraping them off the Brooklyn Bridge, you know.
Dude, that FEMA money pays.
I bet. I could say that I'm a contractor and then go apply for some jobs with some fake certificates from India, Bangladesh.
Right, and it was just wild. I mean, I came back and I was like just sitting and at my house, not doing nothing, and I was like, I'm bored. I want to do something. It's like, well, IVs sound good, sound fun. Why not give it a shot?
There's a lot of people in 2020 that did the fake file for help through SBA. I know probably a handful of people in Sacramento that didn't get caught, that I'm just waiting for tax season to do that whistleblower, like, get that money. Because I'm sure that they didn't claim that money.
Right.
I wouldn't have if I was in their shoes, because, like, who wants to pay an extra 30 grand on 180 grand you got? You shouldn't have told me. I'm not. We're not friends or boys, but when you come in bragging, I'll buy this, I'll buy that. I got like 180 G's, and I got your first, last, and address.
Dude, share the love. Let me get some of that money.
You go to irswhistleblower.com.
Yeah.
Yeah. You get paid 10% of what they recover. So not today, not tomorrow, but in like next year, I got paid a check from a guy I saw on Instagram like 3 years ago. And so he must have been indicted, got some money. I got like $400. And I was like, really? This really fucking works. And it was a trend back in like 2016 that I saw. And I just got a check 7 years later.
Nice.
So if I'm the first one on the file, that 10 years down the road that they finally get hit for something, or 20 years down the road, I'm going to get a check of what they get.
Yeah.
So if I just go report every human on Earth,
eventually you're going to hit the jackpot.
The IRS is going to get from somebody. But
Yeah.
that's just one way to make money, and it's a long-term strategy. It's like real estate investing. And so we're going to see what the blue-collar lunchroom conversations be like.
Do classic EMS conversations too?
It's probably classic just blue-collar lunchroom.
Oh, no, 100%.
What would you rather do? Make out with a guy or let him blow you? And you gotta pick one or your whole family will die. That's the rule.
And how long would you have to make out with him?
10 minutes. Tongue? Of course.
And how long would you have to let him blow you?
7 minutes.
7?
Couldn't last 7 minutes.
No, I mean, this is tricky.
Yeah, it couldn't last. It's like, somebody also told me that a man is going to know how to please a man better because they were a man. Like a woman can please a woman better.
Yeah.
I'm like, that's fucking horrible to think about. That's absolutely devastating.
Right.
No.
Like a man could give another man a better hand job than a woman can.
No, there's no good hand job.
I'm pretty sure a guy could.
There's no. I'm gonna tell you right now, just for any women, just earmuffs, there is no such thing as a good hand job.
There's a
think
decent
about it.
there's a horrible.
Think about it. That is the worst option at any time. Even if it's yourself, it's the worst option, right? It's the only option. It's got to be the worst option. So
how is it a worse option if it's your only option?
I'd rather
the
take
option.
armpit, feet. Can I say that on YouTube? Ass, regular, or oral. Any one of those besides like dry cold hand meets hard, warm, flaccid. Just.
Have you heard that?
And then it's always like, hold on, am I hurting you? It's like, no, faster.
Have you heard that I'm pretty sure it's like a Reddit thing where it's kind of like how the devil went down to Georgia kind of thing, where it's like the devil offers you a game. If you win, you get all the riches or whatever you want. If you lose, like you get nothing. And the best game that you could pick out of that is who could give a better hand job, you to yourself or the devil to you, because you're either going to get the best hand job ever or you're going to win whatever you want.
If you love us, if you like us, or if you hate us, smash the like button.
If you're watching, and we know that you are, do what he says.
Just don't forget, hit the like button. And comment at this preferential speeds. And we'll see you later on During Business Hours. And happy fucking New Year.
Happy New Year.
Life can be super happy, life can be super sad. I'm trying super hard to separate the good and bad. I go back to my future just to get to my past, but knowing me, my DeLorean will probably crash.